I had been saying that I wanted to do a live video or share some type of video talking about the Prince of Egypt and just the story of God's faithfulness to his people. Many of us are very familiar with the story of how the Israelites were enslaved and in bondage for over 400 years. Of course, we know the story of how African Americans in the United States were enslaved, and in both of those stories and many other stories that we know where people have suffered and have either been enslaved or wrongfully imprisoned, wrongfully mistreated. And it is really, really awful to think about the circumstances that individuals have been in. But it is encouraging to see and to think back about God's faithfulness to deliver. And if we were just to look at this story of the Hebrews, the children of Israel who were enslaved, and it looked like to them that they would never be free, that they would never be let go. But we know the story and we know the truth of God's word, that he did use Moses to help lead God's people out of bondage to deliverance, to freedom. The African Americans here in the United States who were enslaved, God did use so many to help fight for their right to be free people and to own land and to own businesses, to go to college, just to do all the things that we as humans should have the right to do. But because we are leading up to this musical that's taking place next week that myself and 3 of my kids will be part of, I felt led to come on here and just share some things leading up to the musical, just to talk about God's faithfulness. So his faithfulness to the children of Israel, his faithfulness to African Americans here in the United States who were freed from slavery, and just God's faithfulness in general. So we want to take some time just to thank God for his ability to free us. And I want to encourage you about God's ability and his faithfulness to free you. You may have some Egypt situations currently in your life or in the life of someone that you know. And as you know, no matter how difficult circumstances may get in our lives, no matter how bleak it looks, no matter how difficult it seems, that a person can be free from that bondage, just like God did when he delivered the Israelites from their time of slavery and bondage. He is faithful to do the same thing for you and for me and for any of us who are ever in a circumstance where we are experiencing an Egypt season. So I want to encourage you today to look at this story of the children of Israel, to maybe go back and read through the story, to be reminded of God's faithfulness, to be reminded of his call to obedience when we are in circumstances like this, because sometimes it is our own disobedience that can keep us in places of bondage. Not always, but sometimes. So we have to check ourselves. But as we are leading up to this musical, the Prince of Egypt, I'm just excited about being a part of it with our family. Encourage you guys to come out to attend. It is taking place June 20th and 21st in Cedar Hill. I've posted some things about it, and I will continue to post about it because I'm just so excited about being part of it with three of my children, 3/5 of my children. So please support the musical, buy tickets, share the posts that I've shared to invite other people. And most importantly, be encouraged by God's message of freedom and deliverance. So no matter what you are going through, and no matter, like I said, what people in your life are going through, believe that God is able to deliver. And I'm curious to know, have you been in a circumstance where you have seen God deliver you or heal you? Please comment below on this video. There may be other people who have not experienced God's goodness and his, or maybe not aware. So I would love for the comments on this video to be testimonial to other people that God is truly, truly faithful to deliver. You don't have to say anything specific. Maybe just put a little, just say yes. Has God delivered you from anything? Would you comment on this video and say yes? If you want to go into details, do that too. Because I know he has definitely delivered me. But that's my spiel for today, just sharing about God's goodness, God's faithfulness, and his ability to deliver us. Love y'all. Bye.